Hi, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your weekly reading for the week of October 21st through the 27th. And say it isn't so, it's the last final day of Libra season today. I'm reading on the 21st. As always, happy Monday, you all. Today I'm here to do your weekly motivation. And we're going to talk about the astrology because it's quite significant this week as we transition into Scorpio season. There's one final mic drop gasp going on. I'm going to talk about it in a moment. And then we're going to be working with several oracle decks. As always, we're going to pull the tarot for the week. I have a new book I'm going to share with you at the end. And always, as always, some self-care tips and a reading from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. So let's get started. Thank you for joining me, as always, for being here, for communing together here in this space. It's an honor, and I welcome all of you here. Welcome back to those of you who like this series. Let's get started. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for the collective today. All right. So the sun is entering Scorpio tomorrow. And in the final goodbye, the sun in Libra is squaring off with Pluto in its final 29 degree, which apparently in the astrological spheres, in the ethers, it's a very significant karmic 29 degree point. And there's some sort of like karmic collective shadow gasp going on this week, and it's going to be enacted tomorrow on the 22nd. So just be aware that there might be something going on either in your life or in the collective around this karmic point, okay? And also, as it's squaring off with Pluto and Capricorn in its final moments in our lifetimes, it's now going to be going into Aquarius for 20 years. And Pluto's significant with Scorpio season because that is Scorpio. So all hail Pluto. I think we're going to really, I just feel like there might be something coming up even around the U.S. and, let's just leave it there. I don't want to go into politics, but I just feel like there might be something happening this week beyond our individual lives that is like oh. So let's talk about Instagram. I thought too, because this felt a little bit like we could have a collective spike of fear or anytime we face fear. This came up the minute I was reading astrology. The first thing that came up in my feed was fear has two meanings. Now, this is by the Biz Secrets, at the Biz Secrets. Fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And that's, I think, the choice point that the collective has been facing and will continue to face during this transit. I think we've been preparing for this with the Aries full moon, and during Libra season, accessing that self-love, self-care, actualizing that in our connections, bringing the spirit of love back into the room, and then also going deep into shadow, because that's what Scorpio represents, especially with that Plutonian influence. So we have a choice: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So the next one, which is, I love him. I got to see him once in my lifetime so far. I hope I see him again. Eckhart Tolle, the master, the great master, living master. If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. I love that one. It's true. Now, the next couple are from Dean Logan, which she's pretty new to me, but I liked what she had to say, because it feels like where we're going in Scorpio season after, tag teaming with Libra. Since Venus was in Scorpio for a while, it's now in Sag. So we all should be feeling, just even when it comes to how we are in our relational energy with Venus, finding harmony and balance. It's going to be more flirty, more light, more fun, more playful than the kind of like, let's go deep into, the stuff that bothers us. Now it's going to be more like, let's go play. So you are entering the season of your life where the people who surround you will be a reflection of your magic. Yeah, I love that. And then this is also by Dean Logan. Somebody's going to catch your vibe and love it. And then the last one by Dean Logan. You are worthy of all that you are. You are worthy of all that you are. And then third eye thoughts. Be patient. Sometimes the wait is longer because the blessing is bigger. And the last one, which I still have to sit with this one because it elicited so many memories. It was a very deep, and I think this is a very scorpionic. This is why I wanted to end with this, because it's going to hit you hard. It hit me hard. I think anyone who hears this is going to hit you hard. Someone once told me, only the people who care about you can hear you when you're quiet. Only the people who care about you can hear you when you're quiet. And that hit me hard. Woo! And that's such a Scorpio vibe, you know? Scorpio goes deep. Yeah, let's leave it there. Let's see what the tarot brings you all. Actually, I thought, since we're entering Scorpio season, let's go with the Talisman Oracle. It's been months and months and months since I used this deck. I wanted to see what's coming up because this has got a very scorpionic energy. Let's see what's happening, y'all. Creativity. Ooh, a lot of divine inspiration going on. Creative solutions, I just heard. Creative inspiration. Let's see. Those didn't want to come out. Ooh. Healing energy. Ooh. No. Well, there's a lot of cards that want to flip and not go back. Interesting. Union. All right. Last one. Protection. Ooh. I just heard the word sacred. Sacred. There's some sort of sacred energy arising in the collective, and it feels like it's around the healing energy in our unions, in our soul ties. The first card that came out was the card of creativity. And look at that spider. It's like the great cosmic web that connects us all with the sacred geometry. I mean, I was talking with a fellow Soul Tribe member last night, and we were talking about Tesla's, energy. You have to start thinking in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And I think that there are new creative ways that we're all coming together and inspiring each other in the cosmic web of life. I think more and more we're realizing how connected we are. And this week, I feel like there's something that's going to happen in the collective that unites us in a unique way. I don't know what it is. And I don't know why I'm getting it from this image when it's only really talking about creativity. But it's almost like source energy moves in mysterious ways. And source energy is the creative energy. It's the creative force in the world. And that's coupled with healing energy. And we have the great tree of life. There's something being activated that's very powerful this week. I can't put my finger on it, but it's deep, and it's almost like this trigger point in the earth, in the collective. Not an uprising, but I'm getting that song. What was that song? Maybe it's called Uprising. I think it was popular in the Twilight movies. I think some of you know who I'm talking about. And it's like it starts out really fast and hard. Anyway, so we have creativity, healing energy, union, and protection. So what I'm gathering here this week, there are some beautiful unions that are being inspired by the astrology, the cosmology. It feels to me like deep soul tribe bonds that are protected, and they're amplifying energy frequencies out and up. So there's something around union with the divine. We have the two rhinos here kissing. The yin and the yang. I think that we have an opportunity to go through this process of healing by reuniting with new and old soul bonds this week, and how those connections and conversations will inspire new levels of creativity, and it's protected. The energy itself is protected. All right, that's what this feels like, y'all. Let's go into the tarot. It almost feels too that the earth, our connection with the earth, I feel like the earth is speaking right now and saying that she's going to be okay. Like, there's a lot of people that are worried about the planet and all these cataclysmic changes, and she's prepared for this, just like we are. You know, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And that's what she's saying. She knows how to face everything and rise. Interesting. Okay, let's go into the tarot. What's the tarot for the week? What is the tarot for the week, Spirit? Ooh, Two of Cups. What'd it say? And look at, they've got their hands touching. It's like reaching out to our brothers and sisters and helping each other. Everything that's going on in the Southeast right now, the collective rising of love and support. It's like we're all so deeply intertwined in our DNA. We're a mammalian, right? We need community. We need the people in our lives. And it's like, remember your connections. Remember the people that carry you. There's something about divine love this week. Last week it started to rise up. I think this week it's kind of hitting a peak. What's going on with these unions? And these are platonic and romantic unions. Oh, wow. There's a rebirth. There's a massive rebirth and renewal going on in our soul bonds. Ooh, and a lot of people are going back and forth. This is like the final judgment. We have Two of Pentacles now. We have the Fool, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. That wanted to come out sideways. So what I think we're doing is we're exiting frequencies where we couldn't trust situations around opening and being vulnerable. Two of Cups is shared love. And it's going through a rebirth right now in the collective. Anything that this week that you're going to be going, I don't back and forth about, that's why this is so interesting. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. I think that a lot of people, if you know you're in a connection that doesn't feel aligned, whatever this is, whether it's a friend or a romantic partner, it's time to address the elephant in the room this week, because this is about bringing healing energy into our unions and protecting that space. Because there's fear. If there's fear, worry, and doubt, some people are staying in situations because of fear of the unknown and having to start all over. And I promise you that if you're scared, it's normal. You have a duty to your own well-being and to your own self. Whenever I see these energies, it's being afraid. It's being afraid of the unknown and being afraid of taking a risk. Some of you are facing a deepening of a bond that if you just push a little more. Now, trust your judgment. Use your discernment here. There's a powerful rebirth this week going on in our connections, and calling out any trust in the room that is being triggered this week. Any waves and rippling through bonds that are creating a lot of stress and anxiety and a lot of fear. It's about facing everything and rising. So I want to challenge you this week around anyone in your life where there's this karmic mic drop in the collective with the shadow gasp. You could see a spike in that this week. And it could be around anyone in your life. But there's a powerful resurrection here of the love and of knowing whether or not you can trust in that or not between you and this other individual. Some of you, it's a friend. I feel like we're all reckoning with maybe one bond that maybe has served our growth. But at the same time, if you can't trust something, there's a reason for that. So be honest with yourself this week. You're entering the season of your life where the people who surround you will be a reflection of your magic, right? Somebody's going to catch your vibe and love it. So if you are worthy of all that you are, all of these words is what you're putting yourself into, in your bonds, in your unions, a reflection of that. Is it congruent to your soul? And if it isn't, I think that a lot of you are taking a look at that this week. Okay, I want to get, because these are two major arcana, I want to get clarity on these two major arcana. We're going to leave these over here. Some of you are wondering, can I trust this individual? Should I move forward? But this feels like past energy, because whenever I see the Two of Pentacles, it's really going through off and on, ins and outs, and you've already had cycles of distrust. What's this Judgment call? Two of Cups again. Two of Cups again. Two of Wands. The Magician. I told you, Spirit's like reuniting, like it's like this powerful love current this week. And I feel like for people who are manifesting higher love and they're holding the vision of love, keep holding that vision, keep rising in yourself to meet that alignment within you. Ooh, this is big energy, y'all. Big energy. A lot of people embarking on new beginnings in love. Yeah. Putting an end to the end. Right? Because ends can linger before a new beginning happens. This wants to come out sideways. Yeah. And you know what? There are a lot of us that are in between, in transition this week. And Scorpio season does bring that out. It's like you're straddling two worlds. You're straddling the old and the new. So there are quite a few people tuning in that have some releasing from this Aries full moon, and also Pluto. This is the collective shadow work. You know, and Ten of Swords is everything the shadow collects on its journey, and the grief that it causes, and the sadness and the fear it causes. And Spirit's saying a lot of us have to come out of like really doing that work to be innocent again, to look at everything with fresh eyes, to trust. It's hard. But I do believe that for people that want to trust and they want to begin anew, this is also the deep shadow work that this Plutonian, Capricornian, Aquarian, all of this energy is inspiring. It's time to release the past, you all, on a very profound level, and honor all the work that you have done to begin anew, to leap off into a new adventure, especially when it comes to our love bonds. Seeing it as this fun journey instead of this, oh my God, this is too hard. It's all in our attitudes and our perspectives. This is doing the work that we came here to do, you all. Casting off, making these final judgments, okay, in a period of renewal and rebirth. Let's get some energy on the Fool. But I see this beautiful, I want to get one more on the Fool, because you're casting off the shadow, right? And learning from it, and not letting what you're moving toward be influenced by that. It's a choice point. Face everything and rise, or forget everything and run. And this is that collective, I have to face myself. And some of us have already done that work, and some of us are facing that this week. I want to just get one more, whatever comes out on this. Final, actually, let's do advice. Advice for the week. Advice for the week. I said it's adequate how I translated those two majors. We have Knight of Swords, Sideways, Hierophant, Taurus. Strong energy of grounding here in our spiritual truth. Empress. These all came out. Okay. Everyone's like, I'm going to forget everything and rise, damn it. This is that it's time to move on. It's time to charge ahead, move forward, being committed to self-love, self-nurturing, the divine feminine, being deeply committed. This is a beautiful combination, you all. Powerful. The advice here for the collective this week is to charge ahead in this collective, beautiful self-love, self-acceptance energy, coupled with the wise guru within. We've learned some things, haven't we? And now I think a lot of us are heading towards brand new beginnings where there's a hell of a lot of personal fulfillment. It's almost like there's going to be new connections formed, new tribal members coming together. We're talking soul tribe. It's powerful. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful week for us to shed the karmic journey at least a layer of it. It's never really truly over, but I think the hardest parts we're reckoning with. Again, it's about getting the inside right, and now the outside's everything's falling into place. This week you have a challenge here to commit to bonds and new beginnings that bring about a lot of fulfillment and fertility. And the Empress is the earth. She provides for us. She provides love, resources, beauty. So I think that we're moving ahead, and we're recognizing that not only are we finding that in ourselves, we're finding that outside now. And there's a lot of magic in that. You're entering the season of your life where the people who surround you will be a reflection of your magic. So grieve what still needs to be grieved. Do the work to face your shadows, y'all, during this week as we enter into Scorpio season. Whatever you can't trust when it comes to giving and receiving love, whatever's putting you into a mental state of anguish, it's time to let go. It's time to let go, you all. Okay. Let's now move into, what are we going to move into? Mark Nepo. Let's see. We're going to read now. October 21st, having honest friends. If you tell me you already understand, I feel a little pessimistic. If you say you do not understand, I feel more optimistic. Interesting. If you tell me you already understand, I feel a little interesting. So it's almost like that beginner's mind, right? The more we think we know, the less we know. That was Thich Nhat Hanh. Beautiful master. Now, this Vietnamese monk, so renowned for his insight, helps us remember that no one can live up to their image of themselves. We can only live out our questions. I have learned from both sides, from being the one with all the answers and from being the one with all the questions, that there is no real bond with others until we share the evidence of who we are and not just our conclusions. It's taken a long time, but I finally get it. I cannot have both the truth and love in my life until I speak from the I and stop putting all my pain into you. Until I own all my stumblings and stop projecting my misfortunes onto everyone nearby. Whoa, this is so true about the collective shadow. I have a friend, his name is Alan. We've known each other for 29 years. Oh my God, 29. The karmic point. Across 18 states. And through storms we swore would never let up. We held each other when marriages failed. Through accidents and cancers, we held each other up when I'm getting spiritual chills, when our grandmothers died. I have seen him in the rain where words can't reach him. I've even seen the rain that is his alone. And here now, because we've dared to open our small windows to each other, because we've broken down in front of each other with fragments of what we thought was truth, we have the privilege of asking again, as if for the first time, who are you? I look at him after all these years without protection and I say, I want to know you, whatever you have withheld, whatever I have not been able to hear. Let us sit in the clearing and understand each other like old birds whose wings are used now more to huddle than to fly. Having an honest friend, one before whom you can dump all your heart's pockets and still feel that you are worth something, is a form of wealth that will buy you nothing but will give you everything. And mysteriously and rightly define such a friend, we must be such a friend. Wow. Wow, you all. Someone once told me only the people who care about you can hear you when you're quiet. Oh, wow, you all. This is a beautiful week. Wow, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. 29 years. Okay, I just need a second. Okay. So I decided, let's keep going. We're going to talk about that last. Let's now do a self-care tip. I'm throwing it all at you today. I'm going to wait. I'm so excited about this book. But let's keep going. This is a self-care tip for the week. Whatever comes out. Alexandra L., very popular Instagram writer. This is her deck around self-care. One wants to come out. It is around boundaries. How am I not surprised? I can break unhealthy cycles and thrive in change. Yes. Now, the advice. Unhealthy patterns create vicious cycles in our lives. Close your eyes and spend some time Don't medicate. Don't self-medicate. That slipped out. Do not self-medicate this week. Do not numb. Face it. Unhealthy patterns create vicious cycles in our lives. Close your eyes and spend some time meditating on a difficult cycle you've had trouble breaking. It could be self-judgment, self-sabotage, or a challenging relationship you continue to return to. When you open your eyes, speak the words on the front of this card. Commit to change today. I can break unhealthy cycles and thrive in change. Okay, Alexandra L. Good self-care tip. Now, we're going to do the final oracle pull, and then I'll do the little announcements and the book. Wow. Powerful week, y'all. I'm not surprised. Scorpio. Every time I say that, I think of Romeo and Juliet. I'm planning a trip, y'all, this winter with a friend and my daughter, and we're going to go to New York City and see Anne Juliet. I can't wait. Big fan. My daughter's never seen a Broadway show in the big city. All right. It's going to be great. Let's see. Nope. I wanted to see that. I wanted to peek at it. What's the animal guide? The animal guide for the week ahead, Spirit. Ooh, they're really like shuffling and sorting here. Nope. There we go. There's 3. I heard number 2 when it came out. Number 2. Shake, release, heal, move on. Shake, release, heal, move on. Let us be our conga line. Let's do the conga. Let's conga, y'all. All right? Shake, release, heal, move on. Okay? That's the mantra for the week. I'm conga. Hey, right? This is the card of the antelope. Antelope stands on the savannah, enjoying a cool breeze. In the blink of an eye, a cheetah pounces and mounts Antelope's back, making him freeze with fear and become immobilized. Any spectator would assume Antelope is dead. Cheetah drags Antelope. This is dark, but hey, we're going into Scorpio season. Cheetah drags Antelope's limp body back to a shaded area to begin her feast, but is interrupted by a gang of hyenas. Cheetah, now focused on protecting her food, abandons Antelope to address the approaching hyenas. It is in this moment that Antelope's body will conduct the genius of its intelligence. Still unconscious, Antelope's stomach begins to rise and fall with deep breaths, his body shaking and quivering. Antelope opens his eyes, clumsily rises to his hooves, and bursts into the most powerful run of his life. Antelope's body saves his life. This card is inspired by Dr. Peter Levine's studies on animals in the wild and the ability of movement to release and dispel trauma and anxiety from the body, which a lot of people are facing this week, okay? This is important work. Often, after the immobility phase of terror, the animal shakes and quivers before returning to full consciousness and running away. The shaking and running are a psychological response to discharge the trauma energy from the nervous system. The genius of the body's movement is that the animal then does not have to suffer the debilitating effects of post-traumatic stress disorder. And a lot of people are going through that, especially with all of these, everything going on in the world right now, right? We need to honor that people are going through tough times, challenging times, and that we need to address the PTSD. The only creatures that do not instinctually exhibit this behavior of shaking to release trauma are humans and animals in captivity. Antelope's medicine is literally telling you to move. No wonder I was seeing a conga. Get out there and move, y'all, right? Shake, release, heal, and move. On. One powerful technique is to set an intention before and during your exercise routine. For example, before you go for a jog or any exercise this week, you would say, this movement is for me to let go of this resistance inside and overcome my current obstacle. During your run, you would repeat this over and over again. If you're about to do a yoga session, you might continuously repeat, I'm dedicating this yoga practice to releasing my trauma, stepping into my power, and falling deeply in love with myself and life. Connecting intention with movement yields powerful results. So do that this week. Connect intention with movement. So whatever you do, dedicate it, right, to releasing your trauma in your body, stepping into your power, and falling deeply in love with yourself and life. Powerful messages this morning. Powerful. Okay, you all. That concludes the reading portion of this reading. I want to talk about briefly the book. Now, you all know I recommended, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I am a huge nonfiction fan. Whenever I want to read a fiction book, it's slow. It takes forever. I read it and I'm like bored with it. I don't know. I'm not knocking fiction. It's beautiful storytelling out there. But when it comes to this channel and what I want to help inspire in people, it really has more to do with direct spiritual information. That's what just gets me up in the morning. It gets me excited. So there's a new release book. It came out at the end of September. I just got it in the mail. And what I decided to do, instead of having this book club, I'm constantly having books come to me. And this one, I feel like it's important to announce it now because it's new. And I haven't read it, but I really feel like it's something that all of us will enjoy as a collective. So what I've decided to do for the readings now and the book club is to just talk about books that I am enjoying. Every time I start recording weeklies, at the end, I'm going to talk about why I chose this book, what this book is saying to me. It might be a new book. I might be talking about a book I'm reading, but it's basically the segment where I'm just going to be talking books. Let's just talk about books. And it won't take that long, but I'm always reading something. And this last one, it was Remarkably Bright Creatures. And I gave people 2 months to read it. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, I'm like only 30 pages in. And I'm just having a hard time, like, reading it. So I think I just need to stick to the spiritual lane. This is the book that just came. I am like so stoked. Even the vibration of it, I'm like, woo, it's like a high vibration book. It's called The Great Awakening. The Great Awakening. And it's by Mike Dooley. And I'm a big, I channel here. It's what I do. It's what this channel is about. And we all channel. If you're an athlete and you're getting in the zone, or you're, daydreaming and imagining how you want to create a new project, you're channeling energy from source. So this book is a collective 6 renowned channels, all right? The Great Awakening, our prophesized transformation and the attainment of embodied enlightenment. And I've been tuning into Sarah Landon. She's written a lot of channeled books, and I'm really liking it. She channels the collective. And this is the quote on the front of the cover. Every single one of you came here to be part of this great transformation of consciousness. You came to wake up, to come into the realization of the embodied masters that you are. So get your books out. These are all the featured contributors on this book. I will be pouring into it this week. I'm very excited about it and learning. So these are some of the key contributions and the key messages. How the evolution of consciousness is on the brink of expansion, why self-realization is your highest purpose and how to attain it, tips and techniques for furthering your own spiritual awakening, the purpose of the ego and its ideal role in your physical life, how to develop your own inner guidance systems, skills to cultivate a powerful channeling practice, ways to use energy to aid in the healing of self and others, how to live, love, and lead with self-mastery, and much more. And then the final quote, Lisa Royal Holt, as you learn to focus inward and master yourself, then you'll start to see what would have previously been called miracles. Inner mastery always comes before mastery of the external world. That's where we are. We're at this point in our collective consciousness where it's about really actualizing inner mastery, and then we become masters of the external world. There's Matt Kahn, Daryl Anka, Lisa Royal Holt, I think it's Lisa, Salvatore Rochelle, Sarah Landon, and Daniel Scranton that all channel in this. So I'm very excited about this, and I hope you enjoy it. There's a link in the description box below for the books that I read from Mark Nepo and Mike Dooley here, and also the decks that I've used today. Let's see. I'm still working on the website, but I'm still taking readings. If you're interested in a personal reading, just hit me up via email. That's in the description box. You can go to my website, jennafontaine.com, and you can take a look at my offerings. But it's about an 8-day turn because of the wait list. So just be patient with me, you all. I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have a beautiful week. We are part of the Great Awakening, okay? And wow, powerful messages. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Oh, and don't forget to be a blessing to someone this week.